You never asked. But you never ask, baby. No, you just take. It's your colonizer nature. Oh, say, I can see. I don't seem to exist for you unless I fit the form of your narrative. That is, being your confidant or your magically delicious best friend. Your B story. Now, don't get me wrong, and I don't want to mince words here. I am magical and fabulous as fuck. I have seen and experienced all the wonderful things that this country has to offer. But I've also experienced the dark, underbellied fucked upness that this nation so often offers up on a rusty platter to people like me. People who look like me. People who act like me. But who am I? I'm a winner, bitch. The first time I ever put on high heels, I was 17 years old. Now, of course, I had worn heels before, but these were mine. A simple, black Yves Saint Laurent pump that a lover had gifted me. Now, the way his fetish was set up is that he enjoyed me as a woman, and that would then allow him to feel less gay. It is truly a fucked up psychosis. I remember chuckling to myself at the remembrance of hearing ladies talk about the woes of high heels. But from the moment I slipped them on, the last piece of my puzzle had been put into place. Taller, longer, dare I say, sexier. I never wobbled, wangled, or fell. My attitude instantly transformed. But oh baby, when I began to walk, when I began to move, these stilts have ascended me to the heights of Mount Olympus. He loved it. This fantasy played itself out for the better part of 9 months. We would rendezvous at various hotel rooms throughout the city. He would always leave a key at the front desk for me. And once I got up to the room, I would make my transformation. In the beginning, it would take me some time to get into the drag, but by month 3, I was a whiz. 20 minutes, tops. Over time, I began to notice his approach to me as a man, as opposed to his approach to me as a woman. And in no time, I found myself feeling the urge of, wanting to be seen out in public. This way. This female persona. Now, in my male presentation, the approach was pedestrian, common, but as a woman, I could see this light explode in his eye. In this form, he was mine. And I could make him do anything I wanted. And I did. Dresses, jewelry, we even escaped to the Poconos once. Honey, breakfast at Tiffany's, lunch con Gucci, and supper at Halston. It was like living a dream. It felt so fucking good. The lust, the opulence, the reckless abandon of behaving like our fantasy had any iota of a chance of existing beyond the walls of where we would meet. I was his object of devotion, his siren. And in this power of attention, I became drunk. When I competed for the first time, it was in secret. Meaning, the only people who knew were me and the people who were in the room that night. Now, I just about sweated off my makeup due to the combination of nerves and poor ventilation of that shoebox we were in. Everyone was so experienced and I was green. The nerves were bad, like so nervous I got tongue-tied lip syncing. Now, while the pumps I had were the fiercest walking, the dress I had needed to go back to the store when I was done with it. Honey, I live for a gown, but I can't eat one. Dresses are nice, but I need the coin. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to do a power ballad. Gladys Knight and the Pips, neither one of us, whilst keeping your gown in a returnable, sellable condition. But it is difficult. I didn't even qualify for the next round, child. I'm telling you, it was a hot mess. There was no saving her. I was defeated, but not downtrodden. I remember the next night I was to meet my lover. We met at our usual Times Square haunt. He could clearly see something was bothering me, and I was doing my worst to hide it. After some resistance, I admitted to him the thrilling loss of my evening before. And the look on his face went from concern and understanding to disgust and anger. He shoved his hand away from me at the offense. That look that went from pedestrian to love, to indifference, to disgust. Just like that. The glimmer in his eye that I became so grateful for was nowhere to be found. He tells me very coldly and quietly that I shouldn't have done that. He tells me that I am his, and how dare I give to others what's his. And then, and this is my favorite part, he slaps me across my face, across my beautifully beat fucking face. And well, I can't let you just hit me. So naturally, my knee-jerk reaction was to slap him back. But just like that, I was awake, child. Awoken to the depth of this truth. That this white man did not care anything about me. I was his novelty, his plaything, his black doll. I was to be for his consumption and his consumption only, and the moment I declared agency over my body is when the fantasy fell. What a completely twisted sense of reality. But see, here again, that is your colonizer nature. Take, rape, pillage, and when the innocent doesn't comply, you strike with the most violent means. Why are you this way? Will you ever change? Or will I always have to make concessions for your rage? Anyway, the day I left that hotel room, I won. And not because I beat his ass, but because I left with my soul intact. Baby, when I stomped out that room in those Yves Saint Laurent pumps, I gained a new level of understanding about the world I was walking out into. I continued to compete. I stopped counting after 30 titles. When the disease hit, I felt the impact most on the pageant stage. These queens were disappearing into thin air. The audience, too. My community vanished right before my eyes. It was terrifying shit. And it came to me. All of the beauty and the circumstance means nothing without your community. And how necessary that community is. How necessary my community is. I felt helpless, but not hopeless. I was sitting vigil for a dear friend and fierce competitor, and I decided I could indeed make some kind of difference. The next day, when we laid that friend to rest, I took my pageant prize money and enrolled in nursing school. I took up nursing to combat what this disease took from me. I haven't gotten dolled up in ages. Haven't really felt the occasion to. I think I have one more competition left in me. And no, you never asked. But yes, my bed is very warm. Thank you.